Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of Mighty Mornings. And as you can tell by our licensing free, we couldn't play that intro, but if you see it, you know it, you hear it. But before we get into this episode, I need to bring in my co host for today, which is Elvin. Let's go get him.
Hello.
Hello.
A good
Welcome.
morning. A mighty morning.
Oh my gosh.
My DoorDash guy has not dropped off my tea yet. So,
Oh my
yeah.
god, you can't make your own tea.
No, I cannot right now. I'm on vacay mode now. Everything
Wow.
today is going to be ordered to the house.
You know, it's funny when the DoorDash and all those deliveries first started. My friend posted on Facebook. She's like, they delivered, and I opened, and there was a can of Sprite. And I'm like, what? And she didn't realize that when she placed her order, she didn't order the food. So I think she ended up paying like $15 for a can of Sprite.
Oh,
That was amazing.
yeah. I have the DoorDash monthly memberships, like $9 or something, and all the food is free delivery.
Nice.
So you save quite a bit. Like we do probably once or twice a week. And so you save, maybe about $50 in delivery fees. So for us,
That's
yeah, it was worth it then for us to do that. Because we were doing the
because
same thing. We were ordering and paying for delivery fees. And we're like, we did the math. We're like, we're paying $50 to $60 a month on just delivery fees.
that's crazy. And
Yeah.
with the delivery fees, I kind of get it because like the places that you order from nowadays, they charge you like a $5, $6 delivery fee, and then that's on top of,
Yeah.
tipping. So
And I tip pretty well. Like usually I tip anywhere between $6 to $10. Right? I mean, to me, like the further the restaurant is, the more I'll tip because
yeah.
they're gonna drive using their gas to get here, right? So,
I wonder
um,
what those drivers like. Do they just break even with the cost of
well,
gas
Nathan,
here?
our member from our team, he used to be a DoorDash delivery guy, and he
Okay.
would make around $100 a day.
Jeez.
And he said it was about 4 deliveries, 5 deliveries, and he'll make
Tax free?
$100 a day. I don't know what that means, but maybe after taxes, probably like $85.
Oh,
But yeah, that's what he would make after 4 deliveries. And he said sometimes he could get 4 deliveries done in like 3 hours.
oh, that's not bad.
And then and then he doesn't care because he's a student, so he doesn't care. $100 a day, I'll take it. Right? See you later. Right?
Hey, why not? It's
Yeah,
extra
exactly.
money. So,
Speaking of money, we got a gem of a show today.
oh,
Oh yeah,
oh,
you know
you're
that's
so
right.
outrageous. Truly, truly outrageous.
We got people in the chat saying hello. So good morning to you, Cowabunga.
Good
Hello to
morning,
Dragon Eyes.
everybody.
We are talking gem. Yes.
Gem and the holograms.
Yes, we definitely would get a strike. But yeah, I mean, this is right up your wheelhouse. You really love this show. I remember this show. I remember watching some of it because
Mhm.
did he just say sad? It's not sad, okay? The dad joke is great. This guy always busted my, you know what? But
Yeah.
this show came out right before my show Transformers that I used to watch.
1985.
Yeah, so and a crazy thing about this was produced by the same guys who did Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Yep. Yep.
That's crazy. Like I
It,
was like, they had three massive shows at
and
once.
when you look at it, they're still like a strong company. It's like a slightly richer sister than Disney.
Yeah, and
Um,
I was shocked. I was like, wow, like they had three bangers out during that 80s, all
yeah.
going at once.
And they still have those licensing license, which I'll get into when
Yeah.
we go through the show.
Well, tell me
Uh,
about your experience and when you first encountered the show. How did you feel about it?
it's funny because surprisingly, it wasn't a show that I watched when I was a kid. I just remember when I watched Saturday morning TV, the theme song came on, and I'd always watch a theme song because it was so iconic and it was so like it would catch your attention. And I'm like, I'll sing it for you, but I'd have to charge you. Um, um, but it wasn't until later, uh, like in 2012, when I kind of got on the bandwagon of Gem and the Holograms.
Mhm.
Um, but well, let's just get started. I'll info you about the show. So the show first started October 6th, 1985, and the final airing show was May 2nd, 1988. So the show,
3 good
this
seasons.
3 good seasons. Some of it was short. I think it was the third season. It was a little bit shorter. They had to wrap it up. But we have sisters Jerica and Kimber. They recently lost their dad, and Jerica took over Starlight Music. So she didn't have the full control. She was half owner with this guy named Eric Raymond. He
This
was
sounds
trying.
this sounds like a TV, like a live action TV show today. You know what I mean?
Oh my god!
Why
The
aren't they doing this? How are they not doing this as a live action TV show?
the basis was there, and which is where the spinoff part comes in. But I will get there.
Okay.
I promise. So they are sharing. I used to watch Jam along with GI Joe in the mornings before school. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, I didn't watch Gem. No, I was watching Transformers and G.I. Joe." Come on.
Hey, come on! It's all, everything in the '80s was just like,
Yeah, it was
you know
cool to
what?
watch it. I mean, I didn't like. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it's there and I'll watch it. Like, it's not a big deal.
We should have got you a wig for this one, a new one.
Oh, missed opportunity for
No,
you.
I know.
Oh, I could even painted a star here too.
Jesus.
Maybe a follow up
Um,
Gem show will do that.
yeah, there's a
We should do a
lot of
karaoke night. We should do a karaoke night just Gems.
okay, if we did that,
We
we'd
can't
have
get
to do it
copyrighted if
by
we sing it ourselves, right?
no, that's true. You guys would have to make donations, which we would probably donate somewhere, but like um yeah, so they inherit half of the Starlight Music. They need a band to keep the uh, business going.
Mhm.
And later in that episode, Jem comes across these star earrings, which introduces us to Synergy, which is the amazing holographic AI intelligence.
So is this
And
where did she find it? Because I can't remember that. Did she just find it somewhere?
so there was a fire in the Starlight Mansion,
Mm.
and I think they just appeared on her desk, and
Hmm.
this is all after they went to the funeral. And then she touches them, and Synergy shows up and says, "Come to these coordinates." And so they go to a Starlight Drive-In. Which, do you remember drive-ins?
Oh, I remember driving all. I
Oh
actually
my
went to one last year.
god, they're
Yeah.
so
Good morning, high
like
school. How you doing?
high school creations. Oh my god, I'm gonna get verklempt. Anyways, so they go to the drive-in theater. They go through this holographic wall. Synergy introduces herself. Gem is with her friends and her sister, and so they have everything they need to start a band. Synergy projects awesome holograms over Jerica to change her look. So, and that's when Gemini Hologram started. And the other guy, Eric Raymond, who is half owner of the Starlight Music, he wants full control. So he decides to go out and start his own band. So he finds the Misfits. Their songs are better. I don't know. They were both pretty good. And then from there on, we have episode after episode of um, back and forth, trying to take over Starlight Music and fighting off the Misfits. And It was just a really good show. Uh, I
I just want
loved
to put
it.
it. I just want to
There
put
we
it
go.
up there in case people joining us now are wondering what we're talking about. But yeah,
So yeah, her alter ego is Jen, and the reason why she disguised her look is she didn't want people to know that she was Jerica Benton, uh, half owner of Starlight Music. So we have Gemina holograms in every episode. It was. Do you remember music videos in the 80s?
oh yeah,
That was
the laser, the smoke.
that's what this featured every episode, and it's just like I can't get enough of it because as cheesy as 80s music videos were, they were that cheesy in the cartoon, but they were actually good and the songs were really catchy.
They were so cheesy. It was worse than a slice of Caesar's pizza. It was
Oh
so
my
cheesy.
god.
It was
So
terrible.
cheesier than your dad jokes, that's for
Oh,
sure.
oh, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
oh, hold on there,
oh.
hold on there. Now, let's not get carried away here. Join us at
uh,
8:30 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays for dad jokes.
Uh, true fact, everyone. That's the reason why I had to leave the weekly. Is
Oh, really? Okay.
Alvin's dad's jokes were just like triggering.
Get out of here. Let's get back to the gem talk here, okay?
Yes.
No more slaughtering my dad jokes.
Um. Okay, so going back to episodes where the Misfits were trying to interrupt Gemini holograms, they're always trying to be better. Some of the crap that they would try and do, like they sent in this one guy to blow up Starlight Mansion to get the holograms out of the way. And here's the thing with Starlight Mansion, which it was also an orphanage. So there's like even kids in there, and
What?
so there's a lot of topics in this cartoon that you know they could actually go to jail for, but somehow they were getting away with it every episode. um, but there are also some intense uh, episodes in here. There was one of the characters that they come across, she was like a little kid and she was dealing with depression, and she was actually gonna jump, like commit suicide. And I'm just like, that's an intense
Yeah, this sounds
episode.
very grown up.
It is, but it catered to, ages 5 and up practically. And it's funny because back in the day when this came out, subjects like that were quite taboo. No
Of
one
course,
ever
yeah.
talked about it. And I get that all 80s cartoons, like even in GI Joe, knowing is half the battle at the end of every episode. um, but yeah, we had some pretty intense episodes, and if you guys watched it out there and there's an episode that you want us to talk about in the future, let us know in the comments, because we will revisit Gemini holograms.
Yeah, we'll do a specific episode like with all the other things that we've already introduced.
Yeah.
We will go down that road again for sure.
So you didn't watch this show.
Well, I did, and so like I said, it was in between a couple of shows that I watched. Right, I watched GI Joe Transformers, so they had put this in between them, so you'd watch it to carry it over to the other side. But that was the time where like I get up in the morning and watch it, or this would be an afternoon show. It's one of those. So
Yeah.
for in the beginning, this was an afternoon show with Transformers. So
Mhm.
I would run home from school, um, get home. This will be just about to end. This
Okay.
this would be probably another 5 minutes left, and it would end, and then Transformers will start. Then they flipped the script on it. They did Transformers first, and then this, which got me really angry because I would miss my Transformers. But
Oh,
what they did was they doubled back on Saturday mornings for Transformers for you.
okay.
So it would be a slower burn because on the
Hmm.
weekdays you would get 4 episodes, episodes of Transformers, but then Saturday you get one, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I was angry. I was like, "What? Like, I rather have this show come on first and then me watch the other one because Transformers was my favorite." And but I did catch some of this stuff, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I mean, I don't personally have a huge attachment to it, but I could see why they did this show because there was a lot of girls that would have loved to watch this show, and this is more of a better take of a Barbie TV show.
So it's funny you mention that because, which I'm gonna get into the conversation of the toys that came out. The first toy line started with Gem and Jerica in 1986, where we had Jerica Benton. It's called the flip side. So you got the one doll, but you got the other fashion. So it's just
Hmm.
funny when the doll came out. She's Jerica Benton when she's wearing that blue and white striped hat, but as soon as he took it off, there was like a mullet hairstyle with a little bit of pink in it, and then you change her outfit, and oh my god, she's Gem. I didn't know.
A 2 for 1 deal.
Exactly, but that's what we've seen with the toy line. Now, let me just go to screen share and I'll show you some
Yeah.
of the vintage figures. It's funny because when you were talking about Barbie, these were like the fashion dolls of our
Were they
time.
designed to compete against Barbie at the time?
In a way, yes. So let me just go into share. Can you guys see that?
It's loading up. There it is.
Okay. So these are just, if you need to see it again, these are some of the images, the popular images that we got. Like, this was one of my favorites. And they did a lot of promoting with the dolls. So when you bought a doll, you got this poster.
Oh,
So,
okay. That's pretty cool. I mean, it
and
makes sense, right? I mean, it's a band. You want to back then everybody wanted, movie or TV show post. I mean, music stars posters were huge, right? So the fact that they
yeah.
would include a
And
poster in there, that's pretty smart. That's
but
good
they did
marketing.
a lot of, oh my God, wait till you hear this. So, on top of that marketing, they were very aggressive in their commercials, but the commercials were very catchy, just like the opening. Um, you would also get tapes, like playable music tapes, when you
That is
purchased the
awesome.
doll that came with a couple songs on it. So, let's just
For
go
our younger
to,
audience, a cassette tape is what we used to listen to our music back then. It was a device yay big, made out of plastic, and had ribbons in there that would play your tracks.
and when the ribbons came out, you'd use a pencil to insert and wind it
Yeah.
back in.
Yes.
So here we got the Misfits dolls. So the battle between these dolls and Barbie, they were created at a different scale. So they were slightly bigger,
Oh, okay.
and none of the clothes would fit the Barbie dolls
Which was
perfectly well.
by design, right? Smart.
Exactly.
Good morning,
But
Darth.
it's just awesome when you're looking at these outfits and they have they obviously scream 80s. So and even the packaging on these dolls were quite catchy. Like they were weird, but come on, open up. There we go. They were, it's bright colors and you know that's going to attract the kids.
You want to
So as you
click on view image there underneath the picture.
oh, there we go. There we go. Is that better?
It's not showing up on our end.
Oh, come on. Oh, you know why? Because it only shares in a new window. I'm sorry, guys.
He's new here.
It's my first day. Um, but in that image was the first Gem doll. So you had Gem in her outfit, and then on the side you got her Jerica look.
Yeah.
So we got all the toys. It was, again, a battle between, do I want a Gem doll? Do I want a Barbie doll?
Or do you
gem
want a Shira
dolls.
doll?
Oh my god.
The
I
choices we had. The
oh
choices.
too many. I never owned any Gemini hologram dolls because
But did you want
again,
them?
it uh, I it's funny because I think I was around 4 or 5 when they came out, and I think I was just so enthralled with Shira. I just wanted everything Shira. Um, but going back to where I fell in love with Gemini holograms in my older age, part of the toys, 2012 came around,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a toy con going on, and this was revealed. So Fashion Royalty, which is this big doll company, it's higher end than Mattel, obviously in quality too. Sorry, Mattel. They gave us Hollywood Gem, which was the very first doll. So this was an introduction to see if we pick up the licensing, is it going to be popular? This doll sold out. They made 500 worldwide. I had one, and
You
then
owned one?
I owned one of these.
How hard was it to get that?
At the beginning, I think I paid like 300 for it, but it was so worth
Whoa.
it because there's only 500 available. This was the introduction
And
to
let me show a better one here.
okay. You know what? If you type in
There.
gem and the holograms integrity dolls,
Integrity
there we go.
dolls?
Yeah, integrity toys.
Yeah.
Because you got that extra screen. I don't, so I can't do this fancy stuff.
Yeah, they all
Uh,
complain.
so it started out with this doll, which had the articulation, real shoes, uh, more accurate hairstyles, as you can tell. And this is where I got into Gemini holograms. So I
So
got this
what was the
doll.
scale on this?
These were 12 inches.
So 1/6 scale, okay.
Yeah. And then this is where my obsession with Gem came in. And
So what are they worth now?
oh God, they being a fashion royalty, having that name on there, the quality is amazing. So this one would probably go for about at least $1,000.
Oh, oh my god.
Um,
I
I
was about to
had
say because I wanted to buy one right now. Because this would go
um,
awesome with my 1/12 scale figures. But
yeah,
not for $1,000.
which is funny. They actually used this doll in a car commercial, and they did like a cool stop motion, so it was pretty cool.
Cowabunga says the price is truly outrageous.
It really is. But fashion royalty. So let me explain fashion royalty. It's not. They don't use Velcro. Like that music stand that she has in that image would actually go up and down. The shoes were real fabric. Like any accessories, it's like what you would buy as a human.
That's crazy.
And so, how I got into this was released, and then I don't know how, but they ended up being a exclusive. The first wave, which was 4 of them for Holt Renfrew. So I raced down to Holt Renfrew. The first 4 figures in the first wave was Gem, Rio, her boyfriend, Synergy, and the Jerica doll. So I ended up getting my hands on the Gem and Synergy, which were 2 amazing dolls. And I think I had to trim back my collection, and I think I sold the Gem doll for about 5.
Oh man, I would have bought that off you for 5 if I knew this existed. This would be
Yeah.
awesome in my 1/12 collection.
Mm.
This represents 80s, right? And
Oh,
it would have been awesome because I've got the He-Man, I've got the She-Ra. I would have loved to have her on here, and I have Transformers 1/12 scale as well. Yeah, this would have been awesome in that. Darn it!
well, the crazy thing is this line. and licensing with Integrity Toys is so popular. This started in 2012. They're still releasing dolls to this day.
That's
It's
crazy.
not it's not as many as they did because they actually gave us characters that we didn't get in the original doll line.
Hmm.
So people were eating them up. They were creating these awesome gift sets where the box looked like a speaker, and when you opened it up, just like when you were kids, you would get those little boxes, like the Castle Grayskull, and you'd open it up, and all of a sudden it's the dressing room. So you got this cool, like neon color lucite chair that had a mirror on it. And then off to the side, you got little hangers to hang the extra fashions on. So they knew what they were doing when when they took over. Well, they got the licensing for Gem and holograms.
That's yeah. I would definitely would have bought that if it was within $300 to $400 price range. Yeah.
I
Well,
know
so
it.
it's crazy how you sold it. Like, I mean, where you're like, you're probably upset that you had to sell it, right? Because
I was upset, but again, like I had three of those IKEA Detolf cabinets,
yeah,
and they were full of the Gemini holograms. Like there
wow,
were so many that got released. I practically had all of them. The thing that made me decide to sell the collection is I needed a new couch, but also you every collector out there can agree with me when you have I had to move so many times. And
mm,
I had these move to Edmonton, move back, and move like two other times in between. So having to package these dolls up with their accessories, it took hours, like and days. So,
yeah.
I just and it gets to the
I dread the day that I have to move.
uh
Like, I own my own place here, but eventually we might move to another place, and I was like, oh man, look what's behind me. That's only a third. I
yeah.
was like,
But
I'll have to call you in.
oh, I'm busy.
Yeah,
Whatever day
too
it is,
bad,
I'm sure
too
I'm busy.
bad. I'll wait by your house. You'll
Okay,
have to come on some.
payment. I get to choose one
Oh,
collectible from your collection. I'm sure you already have like three
oh,
of them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, so Integrity Toys had and still has a very successful doll collection with these. But going back to the original toy line, I remember how cool the Rocking Roadster was, which was the car that they had in a
Yeah,
cartoon.
yeah,
The
I remember that.
feature, the feature, I had one recently when I was collecting all
Really?
my gem dolls. Yeah.
Was
And
this to scale to these dolls or no?
yeah, I could use them with these dolls.
Wow.
These dolls are the vintage
How big
dolls.
was that? Maybe like, was it like this
It
big?
was like it was about maybe a foot and a half big.
Oh,
It was
oh.
huge. But
Do
the
you remember
cool
what it
feature,
cost?
oh god. Uh Someone actually gifted it to me,
Oh, okay,
but
okay.
originally I couldn't say. But the cool feature it had, when you lift up the trunk, there was an AM radio in there. So you could play music
Oh,
as
that's
you're
awesome.
driving the Rocking Roadster. Mine still
Look at the
picked up
details they
like,
used to do, right? Like those details were amazing back in the 80s and 90s.
and they
Of
can't
just
do it
giving that,
now.
just giving that little extra. Well, now they're charging $400 as a tier one kind of thing, right?
Can we not talk about Hasbro and their Ghost Rider or Hasbro? I'm like, okay, if you're gonna charge me that much, at least put a freaking radio in his car. Like, ooh,
Or
it comes
real
with
leather inside
frame,
the seats, right? Instead of like
right?
upholstery.
It's it's small enough. A little bit of leather. Frick, you can even use patent leather or like faux leather.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Well,
whatever.
Todd McFarlane just announced that the Batmobile's for sale, and it actually it started to sell out everywhere.
Yeah,
And
but
he's only charging $100 Canadian.
I feel like I purchased one of his toys and I only needed the accessory for it. but I was looking at the clothes. I'm like, I could use these clothes, and I started removing the plastic pieces, and there's like no body underneath.
It's
They
hollow.
use it's like it's just a joint that goes side to side, and I'm like, that's how he like makes toys so cheap. But can we not like give that guy
Oh, come
any
on!
screen
Like
time?
I
No,
I bought the Batmobile, so I can't wait for it. But I bought it because of nostalgia, obviously, right? Like
yeah, just
the Batmobile from Tim Burton's movies were iconic, right? So
yeah, just don't look in it. You'll be very disappointed, I'm sure.
it opens up, it slides and opens up. You press a button, and the actual cockpit opens up, and you can put Batman in there. So
Vroom vroom. Anyways, yes, it does look pretty awesome, and I love that. Oh my god, sorry. Do you remember the first wave he did
I
of
have the first
DC?
wave.
I thought you sold them all. You're
No,
such a liar.
I tried to sell it out. Nobody wanted it.
Do you remember the build a figure that it came with, which was like
Yeah,
a Hot Wheels freaking dinky car? I'm
yeah.
like, really?
You can put a leg in there, just a leg in there.
Not even. It's just like,
Well, it
oh
was
my,
only three pieces, right? It was like build a figure, but only three of them. I was like,
build a
oh, okay, this
micro
can't be that big
machine.
then,
Jeez.
because I really
Um,
thought it was a big vehicle. I'm like, okay, not bad. You're hitting, you're hitting out of the park right out the gates here. And then I
yeah.
see the reviews of it. I'm like, what? Like, why is this only like a third of the size it should be? It's just hilarious. Like, why even give us this? What's the point of this?
And that kind of brings us back to like, look at what we got in the 80s. We actually got pieces. And even for the price range back then, you still got a lot for the money.
Yeah.
And now, even nowadays, like, going into Hasbro, uh, the Astonishing
Oh, his mic turned off. Your mic turned off. But I will finish what he's saying. The astonishing X Men he's talking about. I actually just got the um, the final set with what's it called, Banshee. So I'm looking forward to putting all that together. But yeah, I mean, Gem. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I appreciate it. It is different for its time, and it was great to have some stuff for female audiences, or of people that wanted to have a little bit of a diverse cartoons. And so diversity has been around for a while. We just people just don't seem to point it out. I mean, how many people, if you ask from the 80s and 90s, going to point out this show, right? So, um, kind of shows like this, kind of, I have a lot of respect for, because they try to do something different, try to mold it into a male driven cartoon a day. Saturday, generally, a lot of boys would be sitting there and watching a lot of male driven shows like G.I. Joe, Transformers, X Men, stuff like that. So having this in there gives, and a lot of boys probably like, no, I'm not interested in this. But I mean, there was a couple of episodes where I just sat there and just watched it. I'm like, that's not bad, like, it's interesting, it's different, and that's what you kind of need. You need to have that wide scope of animation. And I don't know today why we don't have that. It's today we have to cram everything into one show rather than having different shows that can be stronghold on certain things. So that's where my frustration comes in today with even live action shows, is why you got to cram everything into one show. It just doesn't feel right. Is Chris back? Is Christopher back? Let's see. No, his mic is still off. That's okay, Chris. I'm gonna take it home, baby. Oh, maybe go to settings. Maybe you have to go to settings and then check your mic in there. So yeah, you could do that. This is what happens live, folks. This is live. We're not pre-recording this, so things can happen all the time. The crazy thing is, he's giving me a topic here where No, your mic's not working. You sound like Jim Carrey. Oh, you look like Jim Carrey. Chat, help me out here. Tell me some things about Gem that you've watched or heard about so that I can elaborate. Cowbungadoo says it was definitely a girl show for me, but I remember channel surfing and stopped to watch the music and video montage. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I did. I'm like, oh, what's this? Okay, I'll hang out here for a bit. No problem. No problem. And yeah, I had no issues with it. I thought it was pretty cool. I remember it, and I remember when I watched it. So obviously, the thing is, like, if you don't remember something, it's because you probably didn't want to remember it. So the fact that I was able to pinpoint when I watched the show, I actually remember sitting down and seeing this show come across. Uh, that means it did a good job. It did its job trying to get everybody on both sides of the fence to remember it. 3 seasons is not too long, but back then we had what, I don't know how many, a ton of episodes per season. So sometimes 3 season feels like 5 or 6 today. Now we're getting like 6 episodic shows per year from Disney. So yeah, 20 episodes. I'll take that. Are you back now, Christopher? No, you are not back. Do you understand? Oh well, I'll continue, Chris. Sorry, I'm gonna have to steal the show for everybody. Sorry. Um, 2 weeks from now, we're gonna do our next show. I'm gonna be picking this time a topic. We kind of me and Chris kind of go back and forth to pick topics. I've got a doozy one in 2 weeks to pick. But if you, like Chris said, if you guys have suggestions on something that you want us to kind of talk about and explore, let us know. You can let us know through our social media outlets at ANR Universe, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. We do all kinds of stuff there. Check out our shorts. Our shorts, we're right now doing the Simpsons Super Seven figures, and the shorts are phenomenal. It's a collab between me and one of the editors on how we wanted to do it, and it just turned out beautiful. Check that out. I think we dropped Itchy and Scratchy on Friday, and I think tomorrow we're going to drop another one. So be on the lookout for that. You can check it out on YouTube Shorts and Instagram as well, and TikTok. The other thing is, join us for our multiple other shows we have. We have Monday nights. We have the ANR Weekly at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. Go check that out. Me and D, we kind of back and forth on a lot of cool pop culture topics. This week, Monday, I will not be here, but D is still holding it down for us. So yeah, I mean, I'll continue doing that. I think, Christopher, you have to put it to bed, buddy. I think you're done for today. It is what it is, Chris. Don't worry. The chat was okay. You gave us a lot to take. You gave us a lot to unearth. It might be your headphones. Who knows? Maybe unplug your headphones from your laptop and check it. The simplest thing sometimes can make a big difference. So I'll let you know when we can hear you. I'll let you know. I feel bad for Christopher. He really wanted to do an extended of the show. He really was excited to do this show. But I mean, like I said, he did tell us a lot. I learned a few things from him, so that's pretty interesting. Usually, it's me telling him and teaching him a lot of things. Don't laugh, Chris. That's the truth. And then also, like I said, we also have other shows like the Popcorn Chicken. We do a lot of movies and TV shows, and we did take advice from people for about certain TV shows. Right now, we're doing the Mando, and we're also doing the Bad Batch. I gotta say, the Mando, it's okay so far. I needed to get a little bit better because I had high expectations for the show. Bad Batch, it's all right. It's a good kids TV show, with a little sprinkle of adultness in there for some topics, but it's not bad. It's got some fillers, but overall, it's not too bad. Um, But maybe Chris, can you hear us now, Chris? No, we can't. No, I can't hear you. Sorry, Christopher. I will wrap it up though, Chris, and I will. You know what, Chris? When we come back in 2 weeks, so this show is every biweekly. In 2 weeks, we will come back. We'll sort out Chris's audio, and we'll allow him to continue and finish off where he left off, and then we'll get into our 2 weeks topic. So, Chris, don't worry. Don't get upset. It's okay. The chat here, we get it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll come back in 2 weeks and we'll kind of finish off, some of the stuff that you had for Gem. Um, and let us, the guys in the chat, everybody that watches on the replay, give Chris some love. Tell him it's all right. It happens. These things happen, and we will definitely come back in 2 weeks. I want to thank everybody for getting up in the morning, listening to us. It's Saturdays will never be the same. Well, it will be the same with us now that we're doing this. We're in it for the long haul. Me and Chris, we've got tons of shows that we want to talk about, and then we want to circle back onto those shows and talk about the episodics that were impactful to all of us when we were young. Like I said, continue to. What is that, Chris? I think Chris is saying. I don't know what he's saying there. Maybe you can text me and I'll tell everybody about it. Uh, Poor Chris. It's okay. No, you're not fired. Don't worry. Not. Cowabunga, dude, you're not allowed to talk about Willow ever again to us. But yeah, I mean, guys, show Chris some love. Send him some in the video today, our YouTube channel. Send him a message saying it's okay, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. Yeah, like I said, let us know what kind of topics you guys want to talk about in terms of the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. That's what this show is about. It's about going back and living out the nostalgia that we have, the warm, fuzzy Coca-Cola drink feeling, or just remembering having a bowl of cereal, just all those things that we used to love as a kid. I mean, we still might do it. Some of you might still do it now, but just hunkering down with a blanket and watching it, your favorite cartoon in the morning, Saturday mornings. All of those memories, right? Those were so amazing memories. I still remember mine, and I just remember just those great times. It's just you were just lost in this amazing, vortex of storytelling, animated storytelling back then. And I really feel bad for the younger generation, especially my own kids, who don't really get to experience that. But I'm trying to make them experience it through the streaming platforms. Like Tubi is a great place where you can catch a lot of the stuff for free. If you didn't know that, GI Joe, Transformers, and a lot of those shows are on there, so you could watch it with your young ones or your family members that are younger, and introduce them to this amazing era of shows. So Mighty Mornings will be back in 2 weeks. We will bring a new topic in. We'll allow Chris to finish off Gem the way he wanted to. He's probably devastated now, but that's okay. We'll give him a couple of shots of tequila and he'll be fine. He'll be back on his merry ways. But thank you for joining us this morning. We look forward to talking to you guys, hanging out with you guys in 2 weeks' time. Hope everyone has a great day today. Hope the morning started off well for you guys. Wanted to bring in Gem and the Holocaust. So this was truly an outrageous episode. Take care. Bye-bye. Say bye, Chris. Oh, you can't. You're my